Let's go on the record. Airlines are charging more than they ever have before, and people can't afford their holidays. Families are cutting trips because flights are insane, and yet there is a small group of people who are flying business class around the world for the cost of a sandwich. Today we're going to be talking about the truth, and this is part of the travel industry that many top industry insiders hope that we will never learn about. Today with me in studio, I have somebody who understands the back end of this business like nobody else. We have Rachel.Points, and I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to pick your brain. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Robbi. I am thrilled to be here.
We got another Aussie in Miami. I love it.
Yay, I know. I've actually got like a few Australians now because I'm new here. I've only been here for a month. But in that time, I think I've already met 3 or 4. So I need to bring us all together. Australia Day. Let's have an Australia Day party.
Australia Day, January 26th, by the way, if you've never heard of it. It's like our July 4th, kind of.
Yeah, although there's a little bit of, I don't know, political. Are we allowed to celebrate it on January 26th anymore? I don't know. You never know with these.
You can't win either way. Well, look, let's get into today's episode. I'm really excited to pick your brain. You have an incredible platform online where you speak about travel, credit cards, using points, and I'm really excited to kind of hear about one, like how you got into the space, and then teach us your tricks.
Yes, oh my gosh. It is like such a blessing to be here and to be able to teach people about all of this stuff, because I only started posting very recently. It was in June or July, maybe. I think it was July. I had like a little bit of an inkling that I wanted to start doing social media, and I didn't really know where to start. And so I thought about what were the things that my friends were naturally, organically coming to me to ask about. And it was always about credit card advice or trying to figure out how I was always traveling first class or business class, because I would post pictures on Instagram on my stories or what have you of the cabin, and people would be like, what's Rachel doing? Like, how does she have all this money to fly first class all the time? And it's certainly not money that I'm flying first class with, it's points. So it kind of naturally came about when I started sharing that stuff online that was providing value. It grew very quickly, and now I'm up to, I passed 250,000 followers total, and I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. And yeah, that's where we are today. So it's exciting.
So how did you start learning about points?
So in 2018, I moved to the States, and I wonder if you have a similar experience to me. But in Australia, I was just using a debit card everywhere. We don't really have this credit card system or this notion of credit history that everything is based on. And so I got to the States as a 28-year-old, and I had no credit. And I had to figure out things really quickly, because if you want to get a lease or your phone plan or what have you, a lot of these things require credit history. And so I took a deep dive into the credit card system here, and straight away, like, I realized that this was a system that can be hacked, you know, not in the sense of like illegal hacking. Let's talk about it as like leveraging your everyday spend so that you can level up your day-to-day life experiences. And so I started optimizing for points earning, and then I started figuring out how to use those points most efficiently to have better flights and book free hotels and do these sorts of things.
Is there a system when it comes to using the points, like putting different things on different credit cards?
Absolutely. And there's kind of, you know, it depends what you spend your points or what you spend your money on, which are your biggest spending categories. But a great one would be like the American Express Gold Card, where you get 4 times points per dollar on dining and groceries. Like, those are 2 of my biggest categories. So if I'm earning 4 times the points that I would putting things on just a 1 point per dollar kind of card, a basic card, then I'm definitely going to take that route. And you have to balance that out with the annual fees and how many credit cards you want to be holding. But if you're strategic about spending on the right cards with each category, it's a really fast way to boost your points earning.
Growing up in Australia, I think you're right about there's a difference kind of in the culture, kind of given the debit card.
Yeah.
So the same thing, it was funny, like I had I mean, for years, an Amex card in Australia. Yeah, I had that for years. And when I moved to the US, it didn't translate at all, like even through Amex. So it started again with the little prepaid credit card where you had to prepay it and then you get that credit to build up this credit. So then you can obviously start using real credit cards. So from there, that's kind of how I got into it. I have been very interested for years. I think I have like 8 different credit cards.
Yeah, good on you. That's amazing.
In all different avenues, but I'm excited to kind of just ask you and pick your brain a little bit more about it. So for people watching this right now, where they're like, okay, like maybe I'm using a debit card or like I can't afford to have a credit card, like what is your advice for somebody who's just kind of looking into this?
You can start out with a no annual fee credit card. One of my favorites, which is not bougie, and it's maybe a little bit embarrassing even to say. It's like the Freedom Flex Ultimate cards from Chase. And so I actually spend on this plastic card quite often because you get a 1.5 times points earning on every dollar that you spend. So it's a great catch-all card for earning boosted points on just any purchase. So that's a great way to kind of just dip your toes in, you know? Otherwise, there are other ways that you can go about it. There's a platform called rovemiles.com, and you can book hotels without a credit card needed. And then you earn points on those hotel bookings. And then you can use those points at their travel partners and airlines to book flights. And you need not have had ever a credit card to pay for that booking and to get those points. When you're getting started, and I would just say take baby steps. Get one credit card that has no annual fee and get comfortable with it, and then kind of move your way up the different rungs of credit cards. You don't need to start with an $895 Platinum American Express card. I'll tell you that.
Do you think everybody is a candidate for a credit card? Because I know, I mean, some of my friends, they always ask that, like they've asked, like, why do you put everything, like every cent that I spend in my life is on a credit card?
Yeah.
And it's paid off straight away. So I've never had to pay any type of interest on a credit card. But do you think everybody's a candidate for a credit card?
I would say no, not everyone. If you have problems with keeping your spending in check, and if you're carrying high balances, you probably want to stay away from it. This is not financial advice, but I'm like you, where I never carry a balance. I'm always paying everything off. I pay it off early. For someone like that, you know, financially secure and able to do so, then it's a great idea. Or if you're just getting started, yes, have a credit card, but just make sure you're paying it off in time, because you never want to be paying 28% interest on carrying a balance. It's not a good thing, and those interest fees add up very quickly.
Yeah. Is there a website, let's say that somebody, you know, that they're spending more on Amazon. Like, for example, I one of my cards is like a really good Amazon bonus. It's actually through Chase. So I'll buy anything from there and you get like a cash back. But some people want to use it for the travel. Some people want to use it for different things like cash back. Where would somebody start to learn a little bit more about the specifics?
It's funny. My friend Kathleen is obsessed with her Amazon card. And I know some of the other influencers have been doing paid partnerships spruiking the Amazon card at the moment. I don't have it currently. Do you recommend it? 5% cash back on Amazon?
I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
It adds up pretty quick. It just depends where you're spending your money. You know, if you're spending a lot more money like dining out, or kind of like where you're spending your money, right? So then I have one as well for my rent. So there's that
card?
Yeah, the Bilt card. So you can pay for obviously your mortgage or your rent on that, and you're getting the points back on that.
Yeah, and they're coming out with their mortgage paying option in February as well. I think I'll be doing a little bit of work with them in the future. We'll see what happens. But I'm excited about the potential of earning points on my mortgage payments as well as the rent. So now I have both to deal with now that I moved from LA to Miami.
Where would somebody start to see where it makes sense for them to, I guess, optimize?
Yeah, I would go to YouTube probably and search for like basic credit card starting plans, those sorts of things. There's a lot of really good content out there from other people that are creating content in the space. And I would crowdsource some information that way. Do a lot of research and look around. Don't just take one person's opinion as, you know, the North Star. I would say use a lot of different resources and even ask ChatGPT. And then once you're comfortable and you've heard the same methodologies and strategies come up over again, then I would go for it. But there's a lot of content out there. Just make sure you're looking at recent stuff. So probably content from 2025.
So you talk a lot about flying first class or business class. So what does that actually look? Are you using like a specific airline, a specific credit card, or how are you going about that?
So I would earn most of my points from the American Express Gold Card because of those dining and grocery categories being higher. And then I do a lot of credit card sign-up bonuses. That would be the fastest way to earn large chunks of points. So you can earn 100,000 points when you sign up for a new credit card, or 175,000 points. It differs from card to card. And you need to spend a certain amount of money within a certain amount of months usually to hit that sign-up bonus. So that is a really strong way to earn points quickly. And then on top of all of that, I use shopping portals. So Rakuten is my favorite.
What is a shopping portal?
So you essentially have a Chrome extension, or you go through their website or app and activate various offers.
Is it like a honey?
Like a honey, yeah.
I like honey.
Yeah, well, you should try Rakuten because they allow you to earn bonus points on your spend instead of cash back. So you could take it as cash back if you want, or you can take it as American Express membership rewards points or built points. I earn quite a few points from my everyday spending, and it's purchases that I would have been making anyway. And you check out online with Sephora or Lululemon as you would normally. You're not going through some weird third-party checkout. No, it's Lululemon or whoever you were shopping at, but you're earning bonus points on that purchase. So not only are you earning points with the credit card that you're checking out with, you're getting extra on top of that through Rakuten. I do have a sign-up offer, so that's in my link in my bio on Instagram if you need it.
We can link it. We can link it below. Have you got any advice as far as like booking the actual flights?
Yes. So I would say don't book through your credit card's travel portal. Generally speaking, they charge you so much more booking direct. And I have a lot of content on this on my pages, but you can see examples very clearly where a business class flight with Delta from the US to Europe one way might cost you 400,000 or 500,000 points. And you think, oh, that's a good deal because that's a $4,000 or $5,000 flight. I've got this huge cash saving. But no, it's not a good deal. If you transfer those points to the airline directly, you can often get that same flight for as little as 60,000 points and a few $100s in taxes and fees. So the credit card companies will have you think that this is some fantastic points redemption. But if you're strategic about how you spend the points, then you can get 5 or 7 business class flights out of that one essential business class flight that you booked through your credit card portal. But it requires a little bit of hoop jumping, and that's what I teach.
How do you transfer the points from the credit card through to the actual airline?
Yeah, each of your credit cards will have a set of transfer partners, whether that's Emirates or Delta, Flying Blue, which is KLM, and Air France. There's a whole different variety. So you would go into your benefits or membership dashboard with the credit card. You would look at which frequent flyer, which flyer partners, airline or hotel partners they have. You would then open a free account with that airline, and then you just input your account number into the dashboard of the credit card, and you transfer those points across. Now, I never recommend transferring points just willy-nilly. I don't know if that's a saying in America or if that's an Australian thing to say.
I don't know, right? I've just grown up hearing it. Is that, Justin, is that a word here? Willy-nilly? It's
great.
The producer has confirmed. Comment below, is that a word that you've heard?
You want to make sure that you find the flight availability and pricing with the airline first that makes sense for you, and then you transfer points across because you can't transfer them back. So once they're in the airline's membership, once they're under your loyalty account with the airline, they're stuck there. So you want to make sure that there is a flight that you have your eye on.
So it has to be with this specific partner airline. It can't just be a random airline not affiliated with the credit card.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to be strategic about that. There are some little loopholes. And for my intermediate travel hackers out there, I do dive into that a little bit deeper. But if you're just getting started, you want to use a more basic, straightforward transfer.
So let's say that we had 5 minutes. We're going to sit down and you're like, I am going to teach Robbi how to fly back from Miami to Australia, which is a long flight, by the way, isn't it?
Flight, okay.
We're going to do a business class. Give me like kind of the 5 minutes. Like, where would I start? What would make sense? What would you do?
Flying home from Miami, and I've got my eye on this right now, flying Qatar Q Suites. Q Suites are known as the world's best business class, and Qatar is the highest rated airline in the world. And you can get 70,000 point redemptions from Miami to Doha in Qatar. And then you can fly direct from Doha to Melbourne, Sydney, wherever is yours, Brisbane?
Yeah, Brisbane.
Brizzy. And so that would be 140,000 points one way, and then the same thing return. Now you do have to have flexibility. So that's a big strategy that I teach. You could fly out one day and it will cost you 245,000 points. And then if you are willing to fly out the following day, you might get that same flight for 140,000 points. So a little bit of flexibility goes a long way. Another option would be to fly with American Airlines or Qantas, and you'd probably have a stopover somewhere along the way. I mean, definitely, not probably. That might cost you around 80 to 120,000 points when you're getting the best saver fare. But American Airlines points are harder to earn because they don't have as many transfer partners as a Qantas or Qatar, for example. So you'd want to be earning probably with a Citi card. You could transfer Citi Strata Elite. That would allow you to transfer points over to American Airlines. Or you could be earning on the American Airlines credit cards. However, that's also a good lesson in itself. I have a lot of followers that just start getting into my content and they are using Delta credit cards for their everyday purchases or other airline credit cards. And it's great that you are earning bonuses on your spending. But once you're earning Delta miles, they're stuck in Delta. And Delta, their currency is known as the Sky Peso because it's got such low value and you have to spend so many miles within Delta to get anywhere. Versus if you were spending on an American Express credit card, you'd have all of the flexibility of these various transfer partners from airlines to hotels. And you can transfer points to Delta should you want to, or you could transfer points to Flying Blue, who markets Delta flights but charges less for them oftentimes. So that might be like an intermediate tip. But the beginner tip is spend on something that has a flexible points currency. Don't spend the majority of your money on airline cards.
Do you break it up in different purchases on different credit cards to optimize?
Yeah, I do. And it's usually based on where I'm getting the highest spend multiplier. However, there are times when I decide that I have enough American Express points banked and I'll want more Chase points, for example. And so instead of putting my dining out on the Amex, which gets 4 points per dollar, I'll put it on a Chase card, which gets 3 points per dollar, but has a Hyatt transfer partner. And in the travel hacking industry, Hyatt is a really good hotel transfer partner, but they're also a partner to Bilt. So if you're earning points on your rent, you might be able to get those Hyatt points via Bilt anyway. It's good to have an idea once you get deeper into the space of how you want to spend those points. And so if that's a vacation to the Maldives, you might think about which airline you want to fly with and where you want to stay, and then start opening up credit cards so you get sign-up bonuses and spending on cards that will allow you to build up that specific points currency that you need to fund that honeymoon or that dream vacation.
Does having multiple lines of credit, does that hurt you at all?
Most people will say no. And oftentimes it helps you because you have more credit available to you over and therefore a lower credit utilization. And so your credit score a lot of the time goes up. Sometimes your credit score does take a little bit of a hit when you open a new credit card, or in my case, if the average age of your accounts goes down. And because I have new credit here, because I haven't been in the country for as long as most, I have noticed a small impact on my credit score because I've opened more cards recently. That's something that I would tell you to take into account if you're thinking about purchasing a home, and you might have to run your credit and get a loan or a car loan or something like that. You want to make sure that you don't have recent card openings if you're trying to do something bigger like that, where they're really taking into account your credit score and it has a meaningful impact, those hard pulls in your credit, they do drop off a little bit quicker. And I still have a credit score of well over 800. So I'm just being quite finicky about it.
It's the casual flex.
I just want to be, we're type A people here. Like, I just want to be perfect.
Did you keep your credit cards in Australia open?
I don't have any credit cards in Australia, actually. I'm trying to think about it. I think that a few weeks before I moved to the States, I opened an American Express Australian card because I heard that that would make it easier for getting an Amex in the US. And then I didn't know what happened to it. I think they just transferred all of that over. Honestly, I'm probably got this huge debt back in Australia. Like, oh my God.
She's on the run.
Actually recover from this.
She's on the run. She can never go home again.
No, I'm sure I took care of that. I have a debit card and I went back to Australia in the new year and my debit card had expired and I didn't have any access to my cash and they forced me to give them my social security number. So the Commonwealth Bank now has my social security number. So everything has to be above the board. Not that it wouldn't be.
Wow.
But yeah, they're tracking you, Can't get away from them.
No. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for sitting down. Guys, if you're watching this and you have any questions, we are going to be doing a part 2, so comment them below. And Rachel, where can people find you?
Thank you so much, Robbi, for having me. You can find me at Rachel.Points on Instagram or Rachel.Tires on TikTok and Rachel.Points on YouTube as well. I'm across all the platforms and looking forward to connecting with everyone.